Mark?
I think one of the questions every time we read something in Scripture, and maybe specifically the Sermon on the Mount, is who's he talking to? So when he says, when you give to the needy, who's he talking to? And when he says, when you pray, who's he talking to? And when he says, when you fast, who's he talking to? And I think there's another scripture, and I was trying to find it, and somebody may can turn to it immediately, but a bunch of people came up to Jesus one time and says, why don't your disciples fast?
Right, we're going.
Yeah. And he says, well, they don't fast right now because I'm here with them, but when I'm gone, they will fast. Who's he talking to? Is he talking to just the apostles? Is he talking to me? Is he talking to will fast? And so I
draws you closer to God, then I would be 100% in favor of doing it. Whatever brings you closer to God and help you realize who God is and the importance of Him in your life, then do it. But I have been at congregations where people tried to mandate fasting, and I found it very unpleasant. And I did not find it supported in Scripture because I looked a lot to see what it said. And basically, this idea that it has to be done is opinion. Because there's nothing in, once you start reading the letters of Paul and so forth, Peter, none of them mention it. They don't talk about doing it, but they certainly talk about praying. So that's opinion according to Cliff.
Yeah, and I think fasting is certainly not prohibited, but again, the question is to do it. Yeah, so then Regina and I were talking about this the other day on one of our morning walks. Can fasting or can hunger, if you fast, chances are you're going to feel hunger, can that be a distraction to a lot of people? Would it be more of a distraction, or would it be more of a benefit to that moment? Or to, as we look in the Old Testament, particularly, could be hours, could be days. I mean, again, from a practical standpoint, is it going to work for everybody? That's just the thought by David. But anyway, let's look at some New Testament examples of fasting. In Acts 13, verses 2 through 3. Then having fasted and prayed and laid hands upon them, they sent them away. Acts 14:23. So when they appointed elders in every church and prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord in who they had believed. And Luke 2:36 through 37, here's one we see of prolonged fasting with Anna, who was Anna served God with fastings and prayer each night and day. And again, fasting helps us to take our eyes off the things of this world and focus completely on God. Now, I think it would be great if we could all do it